the Most High their power, and served Baalim and the groves. Therefore the anger of the Most High was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Shushan Rishathaim, king of the Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Shushan Rishathaim 8 years. And when the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, solution, the Most High raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. You know, Joshua and Caleb was the only ones that were the adults that were able to bring the children of Israel into the promised land. This is Caleb's younger brother. And the Spirit of the Most High came upon him, and he judged Israel and went out to war. Spirit of the Most High got on Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, and he went out to war. And the Most High delivered Shushan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand. And his hand prevailed against Shushan Rishathaim. And the land had rest 40 years. And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. 40 years, then he died. And what happened? Verse 12, and the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Most High. And the Most High strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, indigenous Chinese. He strengthened him against us, the Israelites, because they had done evil in the sight of the Most High. So don't think that you're going to do whatever you want to do and the Most High ain't going to deal with you. He going to deal with us. He been dealing with us. You seeing it right here. We did evil in the sight of the Most High. We broke his laws, statutes, commandments, and he raised up Eglon, the king of the Chinese, so-called Chinese, Moab, indigenous, I might say. And he gathered unto him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel and possessed the city of palm trees. So you're looking at the indigenous so-called, also called Chinese, and Ammon the Japanese, and Esau's illegitimate grandson, as they would say it today, Amalek, who are the Jewish people, had us in captivity together. Chinese, Japanese, and the Jewish people today had us in captivity. So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. See that? 18 years. We're looking at solutions. What worked? Listen, but when the children of Israel cried unto the Most High raised them up a deliverer, Ehud, the son of Zerah, a Benjamite, a man left-handed. And by him, the children of Israel sent a present unto Eglon, the king of Moab. But Ehud made him a dagger which had 2 edges. You know, a dagger cut you this way or that way. 2 edges of a cubic length. And he did gird it under his raiment upon his right thigh. So he had it on his right thigh. And he brought the present unto Eglon, king of Moab. And Eglon was a very fat man. They had a movie about this, where a lot of men had to carry him around. He was a very fat man. And when he had made an end to offer the present, he said, hey, I got a present for you. Right? He's Yahweh. He's supplanting him. And he brought the present unto Eglon, king of Moab. And Eglon was a very fat man. And when he had made an end to offer the present, he sent away the people that bear the present. So he sent them away. So now it's just him and the king Eglon by himself. But he himself turned again from the quarries that were by Gilgal and said, I have a secret errand unto thee, O king, who said, keep silence. Said, keep silent, keep it silent. Don't let everybody know. And all that stood by him went out from him. So everybody that stood by him, they left him. And Ehud came unto him, and he was sitting in a summer parlor, which he had for himself alone. And Ehud said, I have a message from God. I have a message from the Most High unto thee. And he arose out of his seat. And Ehud put forth his left hand. He was left-handed. Put forth his left hand and took the dagger from his right thigh. So he was left-handed. He took the dagger from his right thigh and thrust it into his belly. Whew! Threw that dagger into his belly. And the haft also went in after the blade. And the fat closed upon the blade. So he was so fat, when the blade went into him, that fat covered over the blade. And the fat closed upon the blade so that he could not draw the dagger out of his belly. And what came out? And the dirt came out. You hear that? Filthy, big, nasty, fat man. And the dirt came out. So when he threw the dagger in, the fat in his belly went back over. He stood up, he threw it in, the fat of his belly went, closed that dagger inside his stomach. He said, and the dirt came out. Woo. Then Ehud went forth through the porch and shut the doors of the parlor upon him and locked him. He locked him in there after he done killed him. When he was gone out, his servants came, and when they saw that, behold, the doors of the parlor were locked, they said, surely he covered his feet in his summer chamber. And they tarried till they were ashamed. And behold, he opened not the doors of the parlor, because he dead. Therefore they took a key and opened them. And behold, their Lord, their master, was fallen down dead on the earth. And Ehud escaped while they tarried and passed beyond the quarries and escaped unto Sirath. And it came to pass when he was come that he blew a trumpet in the mountain of Ephraim, northern Israel. And the children of Israel went down with him from the mount, and he before them. And he said unto them, follow after me, for the Most High have delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. And they went down after him, and took the fords of Jordan toward Moab, and suffered not a man to pass over. And they slew of Moab at that time about 10,000 men of lusty, and all men of valor, strong warriors, and they escaped not a man. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest 80 years. Score is 20 years. The land had rest for 80 years. But we served him 18 years. See. And after him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, which slew of the Philistines 600 men with an ox goad. And he also delivered Israel. See? Like, we got one deliverer. That's our power, Mashiach Yahushua. That we crying out to him to deliver us, the children of Israel. Because he's the one that's coming to judge and make war. When you read Revelation 19:11. So now, Judges the 4th chapter. Here we go again. Verse 1. And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Most High. When Ehud was dead, once he died, remember we had rest for 80 years, which is 80 years. And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Most High when Ehud was dead. When he died, we started doing evil again. And the Most High sold them into the hand of Japin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor, the captain of whose host was Sisera, which dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High. You got to see this. Because it's telling us the solution right here. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, for he had 900 chariots of iron. 900 chariots of iron. And 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. Hear that? 18 years with the Moabites and the Ammonites and the Amalekites. Right? Here now, this king, Japhet, king of Canaan, so-called Africans. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, and he had 900 chariots of iron. In 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time. And she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in Mount Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abinoam, out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, Hath not the Most High power of Israel commanded, saying, Go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and of the children of Zebulun, and I will draw unto thee to the river Kison Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him into thine hand. And Barak said unto her, If thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. Then you know, hey, she was rolling with the Most High. He said, Hey, you go with me, I'm going. You not, I ain't going. And she said, I will surely go with thee. Notwithstanding, the journey that thou takest shall not be for thine honor. For the Most High shall sell Sisera into the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went in with Barak to Kadesh. See. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, two tribes, Naphtali and Zebulun, to Kadesh. And he went up with 10,000 men at his feet, and Deborah went up with him. Now Heber the Kenite, which was of the children of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moses, had served himself from the Kenites and pitched his tent unto the plain of Zaanaim, which is by Kadesh. And they showed Sisera that Barak, the son of Abinoam, was gone up to Mount Tabor. And Sisera gathered together all his chariots, even 900 chariots of iron, and all the people that were with him, from Harosheth of the Gentiles unto the river of Kishon. And Deborah said unto Barak, Up, for this is the day in which the Most High have delivered Sisera into thine hand. Is not the Most High gone out before thee? So Barak went down from Mount Tabor, and 10,000 men after him. See, Deborah came, but the men, the ones that went to war. And the Most High discomfited Sisera and all his chariots and all his hosts. You hear what it said? And the Most High discomfited Sisera and all his chariots and all his hosts, all his army, with the edge of the sword before Barak, so that Sisera lighted down off his chariot and fled away on his feet. He got off his chariot, running on with his feet. But Barak pursued after the chariots and after the hosts, after the army, unto Harosheth of the Gentiles. And all the hosts of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword, and there was not a man left, killed all of them. Howbeit, Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Joel, the wife of Heber the Kenite. But there was peace between Japhet, the king of Zehor, and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Joel went out to meet Sisera, and said unto him, Turn in, my master, turn in to me, come on to me, fear not. And when he had turned in unto her and to the tent, she covered him with a mantle, covered him up with a mantle. And he said unto her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And she opened a bottle of milk and gave him drink and covered him. Gave him something to drink, right? He said, I need some water. I'm thirsty. So she gave him some drink. Again he said unto her, Stand in the door of the tent, and it shall be, when any man does come and inquire of thee, and say, Is there any man here? That thou shalt say, No. When they come looking for me, and they say, Any man in the tent with you? Say, Tell him no. Tell him I'm not here. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent. Check this out, women. Joel, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent and took a hammer in her hand and went softly unto him, and smote the nail into his temples. Temples, that means she went from one side of the head to the other side. Came out, went in this side and came out the other side. As he laying down. Remember, she was covering him up. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail in the tent and took a hammer in her hand, a nail and a hammer in her hand, and went softly unto him. She tiptoed to him and smote the nail into his temples and fastened it into the ground. So as he laid down, she hit that nail into his temples, and it went into the ground. But he was fast asleep and weary, so he died. And behold, as Barak pursued Sisera, Joel came out to meet him and said unto him, Come, and I will show thee the man whom thou seekest. And when he had came into her tent, behold, Sisera lay dead, and the nail was in his temples. He laying down there, as the nail was this side going to the ground, to the other side, coming out of his temple. So the Most High subdued on that day Japin, the king of Canaanite, before the children of Israel. And the hand of the children of Israel prospered and prevailed against Japin, the king of Canaan, until they had destroyed Japin, king of Canaan. That's our power. Let's go to Judges, the 6th chapter. Verse 1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Most High. That's not following his laws, statutes, commandments. That's evil before the sight of the Most High. And the Most High delivered them into the hand of the Median 7 years. Captivity after captivity after captivity. You hearing it? And the hand of Median prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them the dens which are in the mountains and caves and strongholds. And so it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites, that's the Jewish people, and the children of the east, even they came up against them, the Asians and so forth. And they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth. They destroyed what we had planted, till thou come unto Gaza, and left no substance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor ass. Took all our livestock and our crops that we grew in the ground. For they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude. So many of them came against us. For both they and their camels were without number. And they entered into the land to destroy it. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High. Over and over again. You can't hear it? You got to hear this and see the solution of what we did to get the Most High's attention and for him to have pity on us. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, and it came to pass when the children of Israel cried unto the Most High because of the Midianites oppressing us, that the Most High sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus said the Most High power of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you forth out of the house of bondage. And I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of all that oppressed you, and drave them out from before you and gave you their land. And I said unto you, I am the Most High your power. Fear not the gods or the idols of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But ye have not obeyed my voice. We didn't obey his voice. And there came an angel of the Most High and sat upon an oak, which was in Ophrah, that pertained unto Joash the Abiezrite. And his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. You know, because they took everything, livestock, crops, whatever. So he hiding it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Most High appeared unto him and said unto him, The Most High is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. You strong warrior, the Most High is with you. The angel of the Most High is always speaking to us. And Gideon said unto him, O my master, if the Most High be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles which our fathers told us of? You hear that? You see how we were telling our children the miracles that the Most High brought forth? Like we're reading about here. He's saying, where's all these, where the Most High at now? What we have learned about, you know, the things that he have done in delivering us. That's what he's concerned about. Why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles, which our fathers told us of, saying, did not the Most High bring us up from Egypt? But now the Most High have forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. And the Most High looked upon him and said, go in this thy might. Go in this your power, mighty warrior, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? You say, mighty warrior, you go in your mighty valor, and I'm going to make sure that you save we the children of Israel from the Midianites. And he said unto him, O my master, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. And the Most High said unto him, surely I will be with thee. Hear that? Say, surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midianites as one man. He said, you're going to smite the Midianites as one man. And he said unto him, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then show me a sign that thou talkest with me. Say, show me, you know, I mean, it sound familiar? I mean, that's what he asked about Shake Up the Shine. They tell you, hold that, get 1 Corinthians 1:22. It says what? 1 Corinthians 1:22, for the Jews require a sign. We always ask for a sign. And the Greeks seek after wisdom, you know? So, always looking for a sign. That's what he asked. He said in verse 17 of Judges, the 6th chapter, he said, and he said unto him, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then show me a sign that thou talkest with me. Depart not hence, I pray thee, until I come unto thee, and bring forth my present, and set it before thee. And he said, I will tarry until thou come again. And Gideon went in and made ready a kid and unleavened cakes of an ephah of flour. The flesh he put in a basket, and he put the broth in a pot, and brought it out unto him unto the oak, and presented it. And the angel of the Most High said unto him, take the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and lay them upon this rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so. He told him, hey, lay the flesh on the rock, and the unleavened cakes, and pour the broth upon the rock. Then the angel of the Most High put forth the end of the staff that was in his hand, and touched the flesh and the unleavened cakes. And there rose up fire of the rock, and consumed the flesh and the unleavened cakes. Then the angel of the Most High departed out of his sight. So he put the staff in the flesh and the unleavened cakes with the broth on it, and the fire came down and consumed it. Then he disappeared. And when Gideon perceived that he was an angel of the Most High, Gideon said, alas, O my master, O my power, for because I have seen an angel of the Most High face to face. And the Most High said unto him, peace be unto thee, fear not, thou shalt not die. Then Gideon built an altar there unto the Most High, and called it Jehovah Shalom. Unto this day, it is yet in Ophrah of the Abiezerites. See, that's why it tells you in Hebrews 13:2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, For thereby some have entertained angels unawares. People entertaining angels unawares. Didn't even realize they were entertaining an angel. Just like him. Gideon was entertained by an angel. As you see, over and over again, we're seeing that as we were in captivity under these nations, oppressed by these nations, we cried unto the Most High, and he sent us a deliverer. We got to cry one last time, brothers and sisters. All those that want righteousness on this earth, for the Most High, the sin of Mashiach Yahushai, our deliverer, that's coming to judge and make war. And we know what the end result going to be. We already read it in this lesson. Of all those that come against him, he said he's going to burn them up. Ain't going to be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. That's why all the nations are going to be cleaving to us, because they're going to realize who's going to help them now. All they have is to believe in the Most High, or they're going to perish. They're going to believe in the Mashiach Yahushua, who's going to bring forth the power of the Most High and bringing forth the judgment of the Most High to set righteousness on this earth. Ain't going to be no more Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Forces in this world at all. Only the power of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua and the angels. His host, his armies. Understand, overstand this. So, look at, go to Judges, the 10th chapter. As you've heard, all the many captivities that we've been in, let's look at what it's saying in Judges, the 10th chapter. And let's start at verse 10. It say, it says, and the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, saying, we cried unto the Most High. We look at solutions that work for us. The only way you're going to do this is have the humility and the broken and contrite spirit that's necessary to fulfill this one last time. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, saying, we have sinned against thee, both because we have forsaken our power, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of us, the 12 tribes of Israel, and have served Baalim. These other idols of these other nations, all the way to Satan. And the Most High said unto the children of Israel, this is what he said to us, did not I deliver you from the Egyptians, and from the Amorites, and from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines? We in captivity on all these nations. The Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Maonites did oppress you. And ye cried unto me. You cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand. That's the solution. We cried unto the Most High, he delivered us out of these nations' hands. Yet ye have forsaken me. We just kept saying we did evil in the sight of the Most High, so we forsook the Most High and served other gods, like a lot of you believing in the system until this day. Y'all believe that y'all gonna be able to be delivered from the system that is set up to keep you oppressed, keep you not following what this is. Like, I don't expect people to really lock into this, because your pride not gonna allow you to do this. You want to follow the way of whatever way, what else? I mean, I'm here to tell you. Show me where the Most High had pity on us from what all that I've been over. You heard, to the Spirit of the Most High, all praise unto the Most High. This is his word. That he had pity on us and delivered us from the solution that you're hearing. When we humbled ourselves and cried to him sincerely. The Zidonians, verse 12, the Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, however you want to say it, and the Maonites, did oppress you. And ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand. We cried to the Most High, he delivered us out of their hand. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, other idols. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Hear what he said? Say, I ain't gonna deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. That's what he's telling 2/3 of our people. They have chosen other gods, these religions and so forth. They've chosen all these things that newly came up that Moses ain't know nothing about. Who know about them that's in the Bible? The religion that you operating under right now. What prophet, what apostle knew about these religions when they walked the earth in the flesh? You say, go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. You know? You got to hear what he's saying, because ain't no different from then to now. You don't want to come back to learn this unadulterated truth of the Most High's word? To be delivered, to be saved from your enemies and from the hand of all that hate you? That's what we're reading about. This had happened over and over again. We cried to the Most High sincerely, and he had pity on us when we cried to him. He said, go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Now you understand that all this that we're dealing with right now is going to be because of lack of bread, famine in the land, and great tribulation for us now, as it is written. And some of you, he's talking to you right now. He said, go and cry unto the gods of the powers which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Understand this. Sad, because we have forsaken the Most High and think that he's going to deliver you. Listen to what it says. Go to Deuteronomy, 32nd chapter. And let's start at verse. Let's start at verse 26. It said, I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. And he used these other nations. And the first one he tell you in Psalms 83rd chapter is let's take the remembrance of Israel out of remembrance. The Most High say he's going to do this because we ain't follow him. Were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries, our enemies, should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high. The enemies of the Israelites going to say, our hand is high. And the Most High have not done all this. The Most High has not done this, but they've done it. Like some of you believe that to this day. For they are a nation void of counsel. Hear that? A nation void of counsel. Neither is there any understanding in them. Destroyed for lack of knowledge, Hosea 4:6 says, because we forgot the law of the Most High. Oh, that they were wise. Salakia. Just